Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic. It's on the mind of every grower out there and most lighting manufacturers, and that topic is penetration. So how do we actually achieve canopy penetration? Do we do optics to drive the light down, or do we go wide angle throw and let the light do the work? So if you have a 70-degree optic, it's going to make your light readings look high. Let's call this 1000, the target micromole level everybody's after. And if you have 120-degree fixture, you're going to have more, say, bars on a bar style fixture that deliver excellent uniformity, and this would still be the 1000 micromole line. So what you're going to see here, and when we realize that the canopy is a 3D matrix, it is not just the reading at the surface level. When you have more fixtures with more diffuse light generating the same total output, let's call these 700 or 1700 micromole PPF, which is the rate of output for the fixture, you're going to get better uniformity, better penetration, better quality product at depth in the canopy with more point sources than with a wide angle throw than any with a beam angle like 70 degrees. The reason being, let's just look at the shape of a plant. Now obviously you aim to have a nice even canopy all the way across, but this demonstrates the fact that you're basically creating the inverse shape of the plant, and in doing so it's going to catch the outside of the canopy of the plant without going in. So the only way into the canopy, other than what you see from looking directly down on it, is to go with a wide angle throw. This is going to get further into the canopy every time than this before it runs into something. And this is the same kind of theory you can apply when people are running HIDs or high pressure sodiums. You just run a bunch of them at a high point, and they're going to have 130 degree or 120 to 130, but just tons of light coming down. And that long angle throw is what actually gets into the canopy. It's not forcing it down on the canopy. So with this 70-degree angle fixture, you might read 1000 micromoles here. But when you get down to the bottom of the 3D matrix, even without plants in it, you're going to be at 350 or so. When you do this with a wide angle throw, 120 degree to 150 degree angle, you're going to have 1000 micromoles at canopy level, but then you're going to be still in the 750 or so range down here. Now this doesn't make a whole lot of sense looking at it like this, but it is absolutely true, because it's about the total amount of photons going into the system, whether you deliver them from up here or down here. These are going to be more effective because they're going to go further into the canopy from a far side angle. And this is just going to drive photons down on the top of the canopy. Hope that makes sense. I'll take a couple more cracks at it and see if I can clear it up. But that's how I understand it. And if you have a question or opinion, which I'm sure there's a couple out there, let me know what your experience is. But what I'm seeing right now and what I've observed and preached for a long time is these multiple point sources with wide angles are always going to deliver more quality uniformity throughout the canopy, whereas here you're going to have baseball bats down to larf. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Penetration, folks. So say you're using a top lighting form like a Fluence Viper. Is it better to have more wide angle throws, or do you want to have some optics there? The reality is, to get light where you need it, you want to have more traditional Lambertian style throws than this batwing style throw. Because if you take away that focus point where the optic is calibrated for and actually go below it, you're throwing light further here, and then you're kind of inhibiting throw downward. So it just kind of blows out of proportion. It's just not necessary. This is always going to provide more uniformity, more wide angle throw into the canopy, and get further down in to improve your quality of product. This just is unnecessary. If you want to have, a more balanced uniformity at a set height, then just go with more point sources with a traditional style output. And something else to consider, anybody who's claiming fancy optics like this batwing style throw, just remember that this is from the end of the fixture. When you look at it from the side angle, so this is your fancy fixture, it's still just going to have this big donut style throw, even though it's shaped like a batwing. It's essentially the same thing. So you've just got fancy optics actually inhibiting the throw of the light and reducing your efficiency. The sun doesn't do this, neither should you. If you need uniformity at a tighter spacing, don't use optics, just use more point sources to get that throw from traditional Lambertian style. Remember, it's more about the rate of usable par input than it is the reading of par from a meter. 1,000 micromoles on Canopy is a great target. How you get there is going to be best done with a wide angle throw.